We are Group 1!
Hi, I'm Ma'ufay Dampuan.
My name is Christian Andaya.
My name is Liza and Arsenal.
I am Merlinda.
I am Roy Guzman,
I am Jezebel Maches.
I'm Grancy Bernabata.
and we are presenting to you the short story of MacDo.
MacDo, a short story by Merlinda C. Bobis. Elements of the story. Number 1, settings. The place, fast food McDonald's. Time, morning. Social condition, poverty. Mood or atmosphere, public, exposed, and loud.
Number 2 elements of the story, which is plot. Type organic without unnecessary events. Rosa and her elder sister went to McDonald's for their afternoon meal and discussing about what would be the result of Rosa's X-ray. When the people saw the blood-stained napkin that Rosa used, they ferociously and judgmentally looked at the sisters.
Number 3, conflict for the elements of the story. Rosa's sickness. Type, external conflict. It is what we call external conflict because the problems or the conflict that we have in the story is the characters outside conflict with the story. For the kind, man versus circumstances like the sickness that Rosa's having is like the struggles in life which is unexpectedly happen, and it is also not wanted or it's not considered by Rosa when she has the sickness at the story.
The fourth element that we have is theme. Familial bonds surpass public judgment because it was shown in the story how the elder sister supports Rosa versus the judgment that the people shown inside the McDonald's.
Character. It is a direct character. Author tells the readers straight out how a character looks, thinks, feels, and etc. The protagonist of MacDo is Rosa and her elder sister. The antagonist or the adversary, those people who judge Rosa when her napkin soiled with blood from coughing was exposed to public. The foil on the story is Miss Maclisa. The foil of Miss Maclisa is actually the one who emphasizes the characters of Rosa and her older sister.
The next elements of this story is characterization. Rosa's characterization. Rosa is usually thin. There are shadows under her eyes, giving her a wide-eyed look, as if she were anticipating the world to surprise her. Elder sister, I am 27. Both our studies are paid through my salary deduction, which are never enough, so I request for advances regularly. Miss Maclisa trips the young girl at the counter in very well enunciated English. Those people, I heard the knowing murmurs.
The last element of the story is the point of view. The point of view in the story is the first person. The first person refers to the character itself, which is telling the story. You can see the word I, me, and we. And this point of view is usually used for narratives and autobiographies. So the example here is I'm 27 and this is my first time, and it is narrated by the elder sister of Rosa.
So next, forms of imagery. Number 1, visual imagery. So visual imagery is to recreate a certain image. So here is the samples that we are taking from the story. 1, Rosa is usually thin. There are shadows under her eyes, giving her a wide-eyed look, as if she were anticipating the world to surprise her. Second, her name badge shines under the bright fluorescent.
So the second forms of imagery, which is auditory imagery, recreate the sounds in the mind of the readers. So the example are, she's overtaken by severe coughing. I sense a hollow kick with each cough, trying to muffle the sound. I hear the knowing murmurs.
Then the third forms of imagery, kinesthetic imagery. This type of imagery is literates movement or the body parts. Here's the examples we gathered. She's coughing again and knocking at her breast with a fist as if just teasing her own body. I shoved the chicken's ass at his face and said, "No, thank you." I snatched the soiled napkin.
So, olfactory imagery. This pertains to other sense or sense of smell. These are the examples we got from the story. First is, I must say, it's not all that olfactory friendly. Second, one of the lecturers, a guy who tries a new lancer, must have smelled my poverty. So yeah, we can see olfactory friendly and smell my poverty. That is an example of olfactory imagery.
The fifth form of imagery is the gustatory imagery. We have extracted one of the lines on the first story of MacDo. One is, we have a good laugh while munching our very first McDonald's hamburgers. Munching is the word that recreates the tastes on the line of this that we have extracted. So this is the only line that we have seen that gives an imagery of the gustatory.
Next, the number 6, tactile imagery. The tactile imagery is pertain to physical texture or sense of touch. Example, he gave a whole frozen chicken. I grabbed the remain of her cold burger and feed.
So the last form of imagery is organic imagery. So we all know that organic imagery pertains to the character's personal experience of his or her body. It includes the emotion and the senses of thirst, hunger, pain, and fatigue. So in the example here, I was quite shamed. So there's a word shame. I was hungry but I'm not now. So she was hungry. I'm a bit jealous. So the emotion of the character here is a little bit jealous. And I was terrified. So terrified, also known as scared or tense in the moment.
So next, figures of speech. The first one is simile. Simile is a figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with another, or different kind used to make comparison more emphatic of or vivid. Here are the extracted line from the story, pronounced with the glutal stop in the O. So glutal stop is comparing to the throat suddenly got clogged with fries. Second one, we just want the simplest hamburger, please no borloloy. No frills, more like a sensible meal. So borloloy is comparing to us like a sensible meal. Next one, giving her a wide-eyed look as if she were anticipating the word to surprise her. So wide-eyed look is comparing to surprise her or anticipating the word to surprise her. So we all know that surprise, their action is usually wide-eyed look.
The number 2 figure of speech is metaphor. It is a resemblance of two contradictory or different objects is made based on a single or some common characteristics. Example is two plastic glasses rolled and the table became a sweet river and all eyes turn towards the giggling, laughing girls. I hear synchronized fidgeting from the long queue behind me.
Third, personification, also part of the figures of speech. The attribution of a personal nature or human characters to something non-human or the representation of an abstract quality in human form. This is the lines that we extracted from the story. Don't worry, I have the constitution of a bull. Constitution of a bull representing the human on how she ate the half of the remaining burger than what she can.
So next we have hyperbole. Exaggerated statements or claims not to be taken literally. We have here 5 lines that we got from the story. First is I sense a hollow cake with each cup. So hollow cake represents how severe the cup is. Second, I'm not being fair, of course, she's working with the nicest golden arches. So it represents the MacDo. Third, as if she were anticipating the word to surprise her. This is the word to surprise her was used to exaggerate the appearance of the character. And for one that we have is once I felt a few drops of bleed soaking my palms. So it represents or to exaggerate how terrifying one of the character felt. And the last one, times like this, I'm afraid her lungs might burst. So lungs might burst, it represents how severe the coughing is, just to exaggerate or to show the readers how exaggerated the coughing is.
Figure of speech that we use for figurative or by describing one of the lines on the MacDo short story is the onomatopoeia. It refers to a word that phonetically mimics or resembles the sound of the thing it describes. One line is, and all eyes turn towards the giggling coughing girls. Giggling, this word actually gives us a sound that they are happily laughing and they are more joyously showing what makes them happy. And the second line is, I hear the knowing murmurs. So as we actually know that if someone is making something that is not good or making an opinion that tells you back at your side, the murmurs creates. So it creates a negative impact or a negative effect on the line.
The next part of figure of speech is synecdoche, in which a word or phrase that refers to a part of something is substituted to stand in for the whole or vice versa. Here's the line from the story. Big Mac, quarter pounder, fries, apple pie. Big Mac, quarter pounder means hamburger. One regular hamburger, then a Coke. No, make it 2 Cokes, I think. Coke is a drink. Worry won't earn you a centavo. Centavo means money. And all eyes turn toward the giggling coffin. Girls. All eyes turns means they are look at you. They are call attention.
So the last figure of speech in the story of MacDo is euphemism. Euphemism is a mild, indirect, or vague term that often substitute a harsh, blunt, or offensive term. So the example in the story is, then try to take me to the biglang liko, or the sudden turn. So in Tagalog, the biglang liko, also known as the motels. And the next one is the couple mooks, or the thick face. Stage fright at the back. So the stage fright refers to the nervousness of the performer during or before the performance. And the mea culpa, this is a Latin word, and if you convert it into English, it's my fault. It's my fault.